No snow, no frost. Just put the recycling out now, that's done. Well, start of the van this morning, having a bit of a problem with the battery. Just want to make sure that it was running and get it going. There's still a little bit of snow hanging on. Lots to do this morning. Porridge this morning. Well, there you go. My mate in Australia, Kyle, is made adjustments to the banner and I like it. And the other thing he's done is, for some reason, I had actually someone else's channel on my front page, and I don't know why that was, but he's done that for me, sorted it out, and he's put this beautiful picture in the front of this Show Sugi band seat and a plant in pocket, and I like it. It's not all full of little pictures and clickbait, just one simple picture and a simple channel. Will that work? Look at this. We've been doing the office and all this cardboard. It's a job in itself. We're back at the Porcelain property, Porcelain Patio property. So what we have here, we've got the artificial grass over this side. We've got the aero decking. Come over here and have a look from this side, Eloy. We've got the cladding there and the decking there and the wraparound step. So we've got to glue the grass. We've put the grass down. We've had all that snow and that frost, so we couldn't glue it and all that rain. But it's going to be dry today. And we've got to point this porcelain patio. Well, one of the biggest problems you have with pointing is to make sure that the joints are clean and clear. So you've got to get all the dirt out. You've got to make sure the joints are dry. And if you don't make sure that the joints are dry, and you've got actually damp in the joints, or if not, in some place, a lot of fluid, a lot of water, what it's going to do, it's going to weaken your grout that you're putting in, and it's almost like wheat custard. And then you'll have staining, discoloration, losing the colour, and then people say, well, it wasn't my fault. Client's up. Happy client, so important. So what we've got here, everything else is nice and clean all the way through, but when we've been washing through on here and keeping everything clean, we've got a build-up of basically rubbish, sediment, soil, bits and pieces, just gone down on this side. So we've got to wash it out. And then we're going to dry it, and I'll show you we're going to dry it then after. But we've got to get that done. You can see, look what's coming out. Look what's coming out. Lots and lots of mud. But that's just on this part. On that part, we know it's clean. And we've got to get this done. It's such a shame that we're actually pressure washing it now, because we want to get it jointed. You've got to make sure all the debris is out. There you go. That's that little bit done. We've got it out, but I don't want to put too much water on there. You can see where it'll hang on this side, and we don't want the water ingressing back down into the joints. You've got to make sure you get that water out nice and dry, in the joints at least. So important to get the message over. We know that those joints on this side is absolutely fine. Now we know they're okay on here, but we don't want to put loads and loads of water, because we ain't going to be able to grout it today, and we want to get it done because we could be another 6-7 weeks waiting for good weather. Today it's overcast, it's not going to rain, hopefully, but we can get this done. Let's get on with it. Just found another space here in the joints. So like I said, I'm just going to go over it again, just try and remind you that all over there, it's nice and clean. It was just over this little bit, the last bit we were working on, where the joints were a little bit dirty. We don't want to you've got to pressure wash it out. You just can't put the water on it. You can't think you can just scrape it out. By using a pressure washer, it's going to blow everything out. So now what we're going to do, we don't want to put too much water on here, simply because it just takes ages to dry. Now we've got a secret. Well, the secret is this blower. That's going to get all the water out of the joints and dry it up.
Can't wait on their affirmation.
Well, for those who actually like time lapse, got the time lapse done using this little tripod. You just stay there for a minute out. What I want to show you is things like this, leaves. Okay, they can be an absolute nightmare. They get down in between the joints, and what happens? There's tannins and resins, and there's all sorts of minerals and starches coming out with these. These can discolor your patio, and you've got to make sure that all the little bits of debris, that's why we've blown it all off, got the little bits of debris all off. And then what we're going to do now, we're going to get the wash buoy on, and we're going to just wipe over the surface very lightly, and just putting it nice and damp just on the top, not soaking wet, just a little bit damp to make sure that the slurry will move around. Let's look at that. Well, we've got this wash buoy over here, which is good. That's from Top Tiles, and then we got this is the Raimondi one. The Pedalo system saves your back, works well. Well, here we are. This is the Easy Grout, high quality slurry grout for use on porcelain paving. This is in the dark grey. You've got to make sure you read what it says on the box, and we're going to measure exactly with this jug. And then what we do as well, we use the box to mix our grout up. Well, as you can see, gone over with the wash buoy, cleaned off 99% of the debris, and the joints are reasonably dry. You know, we could be waiting for weeks to point this patio, but the joints are dry now. Got most of the debris up, so I think now we've got to just get on with it, get it done, because that's what we got. There are, each box comes with 3 5-kilogram bags. You want about 900 ml of water with this, simply because it just works better. That's in my opinion. So, but we can't use that box now because it's broke. It can get very stressful when you're doing these patios, and we forgot a few tools, so we had to go back and get them, and let's hope the weather holds off. Well, because we're missing Jack this morning, first day without Jack, we've got Eloy on the camera and me filming. Normally somebody would be tipping this in, so we've got our paddle mixer here, and we've got 900 ml of water in there, and we've got our Easy Grout dark grey. So somehow we've got to be able to mix and pour at the same time. So what I'm going to do, here we are. Hello, stop. Well, that was good. Always make sure that you clean your paddle mixer off. Because as you're going along, you don't want that to go hard on your paddle mixer. Well, there it is. It's mixed out. You just got to leave it just for a moment, but you'll find that you can pour it on now straight away, because that's going to go hard quite quick. So, do we pour it now on the first one, or do we wait a little while for that to solidify and get a little bit harder? So, as I said, that's going to go off quite rapid, but this is a slurry grout, so the idea is that you can pour it on like this, and then as it drops into the joints, and then it starts to go off. So let's just get it on. I've used this a number of times, and you can pour it in the joints all you like, but you're going to get black all over anyway, so the best thing to do, just get it on. Just leave your bucket upside down. There we are, there's the first initial pour. We've mixed it up well, we let it go in, you can see it dropping into the joints. Now we're going to start squeezing and pushing it around with this squeezy so we're not down on our hands and knees.
You can't wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just gotta run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, but I can't stop running because you're not running. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life is not. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life don't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because when you know you have to do it all by yourself.
Well, that worked really well, and the reason it worked well is because as soon as the grout fell in the joint, it filled up because there were no voids underneath. If you look at all those joints now, apart from the edge, granted, but we've left a concentration of grout near the edge because we don't want to overspill in the side. So as that starts to go over, I'll work that in with a hand tool. But if you look at that joint there, it's filled straight away because there's no voids underneath and you're not wasting your product. I think the thing is, don't panic. The thing is with this is not to panic. We've got it on there. It'll come off the slabs. I'll show you. I've done it so many times. But in the meantime, we've got some in a pot now. And I've mixed up 2 bags now because I know that we can handle 2 bags. That's sort of going off now. But what you've got to watch is that when it's in the pot, it will solidify. It'll start getting harder. So you're best off just pouring it when it's a little bit loose. And what we found with this now, in that first one, that when the grout fell in the joint, it didn't dissipate, it didn't disappear anywhere because we've got a full bed underneath. So we filled that area pretty rapid. But remember, these are 800 by 800 slabs, so let's get on with the next bit.
Pregunta para ti.
¿Sí?
¿Estás preocupado?
¿Qué?
¿Estás preocupado?
No. Absolutely perfect. It looks like a crazy situation now that we are putting this grout in and it's gone all black. A very expensive Italian porcelain from Mandarin Stone, and it's a quality product, and we've tipped all the, what appears to be like black oil on all over, but the fact is it's working perfectly, and you will see.
wait on others to be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just got to run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, but I can't stop
Right.
running because you're not running with me. Listen.
I've cleaned enough with that now, but I want to show you how I'm going to give it a deep cleaner, and I'm going to do that with the small wash boy, and I'm going to use the little trike to get round and get down, make sure I'm on the ground and I can see that I remove it. That's anyone else can make the choice to use the Patio system, that's absolutely fine, but for me I've got to make sure the attention's in the detail. I want to make sure it's nice and clean and get it off, so I'm going to do it with the smaller wash boy now. So I'm going to use this wash boy now. It comes on wheels, and for me this is just a better way of getting down and having a look and making sure that you get everything off completely, because the attention's in the detail. We want to make sure that it's right. Well, we're sort of done. It's not been a hard day, but it's been a bit of a stressful day because we were worried about the weather, and we were doing these videos to sort of help to share what we're doing with you guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely fine. But have a look at though. Here we are. We've gone down there. We've done the picture frame. Got a little bit just there, but you can see. Now we're just going over it, got a little bit to wipe there. We don't want to get too much water on, but you can actually see, when you get down a little bit closer, you can see the joints there. Just follow this one along here. And there's no staining on the edge at all. Some of these modern grates are absolutely fantastic. And the beauty of using the easy grout, that we haven't had to dig a sump and get a hose pipe and wash it all away into a sump when you see some of those grout systems. You don't do that with easy grout. You just use a Patio system, and every now and again just clean it out. That's all you have to do, and make sure you've got clean water in. So any little bits of sediment that's actually on here now, they'll come off after, but we're going to just probably give it the once over now. If you look at that, that's looking, well, I think it's looking perfect, to be honest. Look at that joint there. Let's have a look. There we go. I suppose the secret is, will it maintain its colour? Well, no, it won't. And the reason it won't maintain its colour to a degree is simply because of the UV. And you've got to remember, it's out in the elements. It's been exposed to all that rain. And the acidity that's in the rain sometimes, and you know, all the dirt that gets carried around. It's not like being inside. It's a little bit different when you're doing this outside. So we still haven't quite finished, but we're going to knock it on the head today. So we're going to put the artificial grass back down without getting any little bits, or unless we just leave it like that for tonight. I think we don't want these little bits to go into the grout. But look, I hope you like it. If you've got any questions about the easy grout, the other thing that I was going to point out, that if for any reason there was a little hollow or a little dip in it, we can come back the next day and add a little bit more, and it would be absolutely seamless. Okay, absolutely seamless. I'm just glad that this big bit is done. The majority of the patio is being grouted, so hopefully our client will be happy. Well, there you go, the easy grout from Aspects for Porcelain. Absolutely fantastic, perfect for porcelain patios. Completed, finished, and it's looking really good. We'll check this over tomorrow to ensure that there is no staining. We're going to give it another once over before we finish. You can see the odd little footprints, but they will come off.
And look behind you and say, everybody dream just because somebody in your your life won't chase it with you. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life won't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because...
Good morning, it's Johnny Boy. Let me show you what's occurring. So yesterday we pointed this beautiful Italian porcelain patio, and we pointed it with Easy Grout. So yesterday we pointed this beautiful Italian porcelain patio with the Easy Grout. Now I've used the Easy Grout on many occasions. So yesterday we pointed this patio with the Easy Grout, and it was dry during the day. It was overcast. They said there was going to be no rain, but later on that evening at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, the heavens opened up. But as you can see, with the Easy Grout, it's a rapid set, and it's actually gone off absolutely perfect, absolutely solid. There's no staining. In the past, you would almost half expectedly to come back and see grout oozing out, bleeding out the joints, but there is none whatsoever. It's gone off absolutely perfect. It's going to take a couple of days for it to cure a little bit more, but it's worked. And what a relief, because I went to bed last night thinking, what have I done? Why didn't I sheet it up? You know, a schoolboy error. I could have just went and got some sheets, covered it up, it would have been done, and I wouldn't have had to worry about it. And I forgot again. And that's the trouble when you're working in this industry. You're running around, you're keeping busy, and you need to be prepared. But all is good.